What is school for? Feel free to call me slow, but I spent 16 years going to school, and I still don't know. When I finished, I didn't know how to do my own taxes, purchase a home, or apply for a loan. I didn't know a thing about investments, building credit, or getting a job. I graduated at the top of my class, and what did I have? This fancy diploma to sit at home with my mom. But luckily, they did teach me some important skills like factoring trinomials and how mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. I'm so happy I remember the Pythagorean theorem, cause it helped me a lot. Okay, I'm lying, let me stop. Because all the stuff they taught me, truthfully, I forgot. Mom, remember when you would ask me, what did you learn in school today? And I would say, nothing much. I wasn't being modest. The truth about it, Mom, is I had already forgotten. And it's not just me, millions of students sing the same song. How many of you guys avoid eye contact with the teacher to try not to get caught upon? Afraid to raise your hand for fear of being wrong, which proves that school isn't an environment for learning or building up the intellect. It's just a game you play for grades and how many A's you can collect. But I guess what do you expect when the most commonly asked question in class is this gonna be on the test? Is this gonna be on the test? See, if school put learning instead of testing and memorizing as the top standard, then the letter F would not stand for failure. It would stand for find another answer. And if school was really interested in our personal and academic success, students would wake up later, have more freedom and homework, a lot less. And that's not my opinion. This conclusion has been scientifically tested and proven. And any teacher that doesn't believe me, feel free to check my works cited page to inspect. Oh, and I did it in MLA format because I know that's all you will accept. See, students would get more benefit from an extra hour of sleep than putting them through the torture of an extra essay, reading 150 pages, doing problems 1 through 60 on the worksheet, and having 3 projects due by the end of the week. Not only is it pointless pain, but it's also dim-witted, because we get so much work, but they don't teach the time management skills to deal with it. See, in school, we are controlled by bells. We have to learn in rooms with the feng shui of a prison cell. We have to ask permission to relieve bodily functions, but not before the teacher asks a million questions like, why didn't you go before class? I'm sorry, my bladder is kind of on its own schedule and it's not always timely. See, teachers always say, use your time wisely. But that never made sense to me. Because these 6 cruel hours of our lives we call school might literally be the worst use of time management ever in history. Think about it, the traditional teaching method is foolish. No, it's useless, multiplied by the square root of stupid. What they do is they cram information in your head, force feeding you, and then you throw it up on the test. That's not education, that's bulimia. And the more bulimic you are, the better you will do on their assessments. So it's no wonder why so many students graduate mentally and emotionally anorexic. See, school teaches you how to memorize dots. True education should teach you how to connect them. True education teaches you how to catch a fish. School teaches you, yeah, you caught the fish, but you didn't show your work, so it doesn't count. Throw it back. I'm just asking, what is school for? It's not education, that's just not true. If you still think that, you might be sniffing glue. See, the word education comes from the Latin root educe, meaning bring out, i.e. bring the gifts out of a person and make them viable. But school doesn't bring out much, it just stuffs more facts inside of you. Now some of that stuff is justifiable. We need reading, writing, and some arithmetic, that's fair. But are you telling me metamorphic and igneous rocks are more important than self-care? If suicide is the 3rd leading cause of death of ages 10 to 24, and Harvard studies suggest the biggest predictor for success is self-control and emotional health, then why the heck aren't we taught how to handle stress, bullies, or rejection? How about anxiety or depression? You know, skills we need for our entire lives. Bro, I don't even know how to cook. I'm honestly surprised I'm still alive.
Shalom. First thing and foremost, I give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in the gospel abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai wherever it may be. As you saw a video, there's one Jake, he was kind of narrating a poem going into the school systems here in America, which America has the worst school systems in the world, okay, because you have public schools that Jake is stuffed in, you know, due to unfortunate circumstances and ultimately the curses, but Jake is put into these schools by default because the parents went to those schools and didn't know better or didn't ask the proper questions or didn't know how to navigate this system and they couldn't afford prep school or private school, which, you know, they have more of a curriculum that's taught to navigate the world in some instances. I was talking to somebody over the weekend and we was going into the whole concept of school, how they wish they went to a public school because, you know, she was like, well, it would have made me street smart. I'm like, well, I mean, public school don't really teach you anything but how to be a parrot and regurgitate shit and to be a better slave, you know, witchcraft. But she was like, she learned how to write a check in private school or whatever school she went to. She said she learned how to write a check. And I was like, well, how did I learn how to write a check until after I graduated high school? I didn't even get a bank account until I graduated high school because in public schools, they don't teach you these things. Okay, yeah, they teach you the basic reading, writing, spelling, arithmetic, you know, show you how to format papers and all that other stuff. But 9 times out of 10, they're just cramming a bunch of bullshit into your head and telling you to go this route and you get a job. They teach you how to be an employee. Okay, they don't teach you how to own things. They don't teach you how to make your own decisions. Like the Jake said, he said they don't teach you time management skills in school, and they don't teach you time management, man. Okay, they don't teach you time management at all because even to this day, time management should be one of the simpler things to learn, but it's not, you know, because, you know, people are all over the place. Okay, people have no sense of guidance, okay? So the public school system and the prison system is really one and the same. Okay, they had a video called prison to school to prison pipeline, and when you look at the way that the public food system is structured, it is structured like prison. You know, you in these big cinder block buildings, you know, you have a certain time you go recess, then you go to lunch, single file line, roll call, you know, lunch tickets or meal tickets, you know, all these things, man. It's the same thing as prison, you know. So I looked up the school, the origin, and it goes into scholi, which means leisure, philosophy, lecture, place. Okay. Now let's go to etymology. Etymology dictionary. Because the real learning is really in the scriptures. In the ancient world, we didn't learn like this. We didn't sit in some classroom setting and was boggled down with information for 12 hours, you know. And I'm just saying 12 hours. It was roughly 6.5, maybe, unless you have a half day. But you waking up 6:45 in the morning, you getting beat out of your sleep. I remember we used to get the shit beat out of us because we didn't want to wake up for school because it wasn't really in our spirit. You know, you wake a kid up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go there and you sit in the classroom and the attention span is all jacked up because the foods we eat cause ADHD, and it was just a shit show, man. It was basically a place to lay your kids off to be supervised by a bunch of demons, and nothing came of it. But anyway, it goes here. It says institution for instruction. Okay. It says from Latin schola, meaning place for teachers and students, place of instruction, a learned conversation, debate, lecture, disciples of a teacher, body of followers, sect. Also older Greek sense, intermission of work, leisure, and learning. Okay. Like we have classes in the camp, you know, when a body of believers come together. But it says this is from the Greek skole, spare time, leisure, rest, ease, idleness, that in which leisure is employed. Okay. Learned discussion, also a place for lectures. School originally a holding back, a keeping clear, to get. All right. Which this goes back to Rome because it says a basic sense of the Greek word is leisure, which passed to the autois discussion in Athens or Rome with a favorite proper term of free time. Then it came to be used as a place for such discussion. So it really meant leisure. But now it's a place of learning, like college goes into higher learning. Okay, that's the definition of it. But this whole concept of school has went back into the to the time of the Greeks and the Romans, because this is nothing but the Roman Empire all over again. How did children learn in the ancient world? See what it says. Trades, yup. It says boys who did not come from wealthy families were expected to learn their father's trade through apprenticeships, like masonry and trades. Like Yahweh Shai was a carpenter. Joseph was a carpenter. At the age of 12 years old, you become a man and you work side by side with your father until you're well off to, work on your own and make your own money and take care of your own family. That's how it really was. Now, you were taught the basic concepts of reading, math, stuff like that. You understood how the world would work. You understood, and mainly you were taught the law, statutes, and commandments. And among those communities, you did learn, okay? But you didn't have to learn fucking pre-calculus or advanced algebra with trigger. Now, you didn't have to learn all that bullshit, man. Single file line, eating 12 o'clock, 2 bathroom breaks a day. That's fucking prison, But it says, from wealthy families were expected to learn through their father's trade through apprenticeships. It says, how were girls educated in ancient Egypt? It says, girls generally did not receive formal education, but they were taught skills such as cooking, baking, child rearing, and medical knowledge by their mothers. And this is why when you go into Genesis, the first chapter, you have what they call the midwives, man. When they basically act as parental guidance and nurses and so forth, and they took care of the children or the birth practices and stuff like that. But now you got these fucking women you call nurses, which ain't nothing but witches, that handles all that because they don't even know the proper concept of conceiving a child, of helping childbirth. They tell you to lay on your back and push a child out when realistically, if you squat and you let gravity take its course, the baby is going to fall out, okay? Same thing when you're taking the number 2. I mean, you have certain toilet stools that's really not set up for your digestive tract. You're supposed to bend at an angle. Like in certain cultures and countries, they have particular toilets that bend you forward so your digestive tract can actually eliminate the stool. Okay, just from sitting a certain way on a toilet stool can cause constipation. Just from the basic things, man, we were not taught. But anyway, this is the book of Psalm 71, and I'm gonna start verses Psalm 71 and let's start at verses 17. It says, "O Yahweh, thou hast taught me from my youth." And what was he taught? The law, statutes, and commandments. "And hereto I have declared thy wondrous works." Okay, so it says, "Now also when I am old and gray-headed, O Yahweh, forsake me not, until I have showed thy strength unto this generation, and thy power to everyone that is to come." Okay, but the commandments, law, statutes, and commandments, we were supposed to be taught. Okay, like the law said, that was our schoolmaster. Matter of fact, let's look that up. Schoolmaster. Okay, Galatians 3:24. So let me look that up real quick. Give me a second here. Galatians 3:24. Where am I at here? This is Proverbs 22. Galatians 3. And we do these lessons. We learn as we go, man. Okay, like this is school right now. We're edifying, which means to build. All right, Galatians 2, Galatians 3, and where the fuck is it at, man? I just saw it. There we go. But it says, "Whereunto the law was our schoolmaster to bring us into Yahweh Shai, that we may be justified by faith. But after that faith has come, we are no longer under schoolmaster," right? Because we're under Yahweh Shai. He's our teacher through our elders. Like the scriptures say, you must be taught again. And how can I know unless somebody should teach me or guide me? So you do need teachers. But that Greek word is
Strong's G 3807. Paidagogos. Paidagogos.
okay, which means a tutor, the guardian, God of boys. Among the Greeks and Romans, the name was applied to trustworthy slaves who were charged with the duty of supervising the life and morals of boys belonging to a better class. The boys were not allowed to much as step out of the house without them before arriving at the edge of manhood. You got what they call boys' schools, you got charter schools, you got prep schools, which presidents, they go to prep schools because they're taught from their inception to run the world, because through these banking families, presidents are selected, not elected. This is the reason for it. Okay? But, schoolmaster, man. All right? Now, go back to Proverbs 22, and this wasn't going to be a long lesson. Proverbs 22, and I'm going to start at verses 6. It says, train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it, right? Okay, so we supposed to train our kids up in the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim and Yahweh Shai. The law, as we read, is our schoolmaster, our first schoolmaster, okay, which shows morality, okay, dedication, and sincerity, and everything else is added on to that. You know, see, peep this. Let's go to Susanna 1 and 3, because look at what it said about her. Susanna 1, and I'm going to start at verses 3. It says, her parents were also righteous and taught their daughter according to the law of Moses, right? Okay, so she was taught into the law of Moses. This is what we're supposed to have learned. But you notice in schools, mainly Jake schools, they've taken the faith of religion out of schools now, because now you can't talk about so-called God in schools now, because they always use the justification, oh, well, you know, people's religions, people are going to argue about it. Reality of it is these schools are Marxists, okay? They're full of Marxist individuals and Masons and Freemasons, and this is why you have grades, okay? You have grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, which all goes back into Freemasonry, you know? The cap and gown, the handshake, the marble square, that's all Freemasonry. They're basically teaching you to be a witch. Okay, you go to college, you learn a bullshit-ass curriculum, you fucking $100,000 in debt just to work a goddamn job. Like I always give the example with my sister. She got 2 degrees. She got a business associate. No, I think she got an MBA. What she? No, she has a bachelor's, and she has an associate's, a bachelor's, and a goddamn master's degree. She has 3 degrees, no kids, no man. Well, I think she has a man, which, you know, is one of those situations, but she live in this nice house by herself, no kids, no nothing. And she works at a goddamn school after spending $80,000, $90,000 in school just to work in the goddamn principal's office. Okay, you got a master's degree, a business degree, but you don't know the first thing about starting a damn business. Okay, you don't know the first thing about delegating. You don't know nothing about accounting. You don't know nothing about nothing. I don't want to help finna spend all that money to go to business school, and I'm working around a bunch of badass niggas. Nah, bro. See, prime example, slave, man. All right, and this is what these women do. They thrive. They thrive in that shit, man, and they think it's something. But now she's full of regret. You know, going to see psychologists and shit. Yeah. So it's just a damn joke, man. You know, this place is a freaking joke. Okay, this is why the scriptures say that the blessing of the fathers established households, but the curse of the mother rooted out foundations. And believe it or not, it was mainly our mothers that took us into these public schools, man. You know? But anyway, with that, brothers, this wasn't going to be a long lesson. Giving out praises and glory and honor that is due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you will edify. Until the next lesson.